CTV family.
Catch us live on your TV screen. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the hashtag to use today is Talk Thursday because we're going to be having some really incredible conversations about what it is that you need to know in order to be successful in university. First and foremost, before I continue on, I want to say a huge congratulations to everybody who passed their matric. Guys, you guys passed during a whole pandemic. So congratulations. A special shout out to my niece, Amy. Ah, girl, you did us proud in
Well
this
done,
camera,
Amy.
okay? Hashtag Talk Thursday. So you need to tell me, did you pass matric? If you passed matric, how's your registration going? Are you able to fund yourself? We want to talk about all these important things right here on the show, right?
Yeah, and speaking of matric, we are joined by a panel right now, guys.
Yes.
2 students who did pass matric.
Yes,
so we'll be getting to know them, the pressures and everything that they happened. How did they manage to pass matric? And we're also joined by 2 experts who will be sharing some great wisdom with us over there. Welcome to the show, guys. Thank you so much for joining us.
I think my first question is for the 2 people over there who just passed their matric. Firstly, congratulations, guys. How do you feel?
I'm so happy that I passed my matric, and I'm grateful that I made my community proud, and mostly my teachers proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yourself proud. Don't leave yourself out.
Yes. And then how do you feel, Putam?
Well, I feel great, having to, manage the pressure,
Right.
and then work through your studies, even though it was hard, even, the stress through COVID-19. So, yeah, I feel great that I did well.
And that's great. I mean, we all go through this period of varsity where we are celebrating right now, like, okay, I did well, but now here comes the stressful part. You actually have to decide what it is that you want to do. That's why we have these 2 incredible people who are going to be helping us. But let's talk to you first. Do you have an idea of what it is that you want to do? Have you started going to universities to go apply, come back, and just fill me in on all the details?
Okay, I was
Don't
accepted.
tell me my camera.
Okay, I was accepted in all the varsities that I've applied to.
Okay.
And I kind of had like a positive stress because it was a matter of deciding whether I want to go to there or to other provinces or I
Which
want
one?
to
Yes.
stay here in Cape Town. So I chose UCT because it's close to where I live and it's always been the varsity that I wanted to go to.
Lovely.
Yes.
And what will you be doing at UCT? What are you
I'm
studying?
doing my Bachelor of Social Sciences in Politics,
Beautiful.
Philosophy and Economics.
Do you like that? Do you feel like
I
you're going to
love
enjoy it?
that. I'm going to enjoy it because I did my research and it's everything that I want to study.
I love that.
And then when you put on what are your stresses? Let's see if you have positive stress.
Well, I wish I couldn't say that. But, yeah, I have negative stress, My things are bad right now. Actually, first of all, I was struggling last year on choosing a career. But luckily, I managed to, choose. Because back then, I thought that I was good at everything. So, having to choose, it's hard. Because you want something that will bring you money. You want something that will secure your job.
Yeah.
But I ended up choosing something that both benefits everything,
Okay.
So I chose computer science.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
I love it, and then I'm good at it.
Yeah.
Yes, I think I'll manage.
So you'd say that's your purpose and it's bringing in money. I love
Yes.
that.
Love that. And then to some, I see you looking at them and you're like nodding, but you have way more experience because you're in this. So can you please let us know, what are some of the things that people should look at when they are choosing a career? Because we're young, we're like, okay, I sort of like this, I sort of like that, I want to go to that institution. What are some of the things that I can look at as a person who just left matric and I'm like, okay, these are my options. I'm not going to just, randomly pick because this is my life. What should I do when I'm picking?
I think some of the times you have to go through the experience to actually find yourself. For me, for instance, I wanted to be a pilot. But then when I then eventually studied law, I actually fell in love with law to a point whereby I asked myself if ever was going to enjoy being a pilot. So going to university, you actually find yourself. That's why they are academic advising boards and stuff like that. So you are actually free to change the course if you feel like you're not part of that program.
I love that. And then you have an organization that helps young people actually decide what it is that you go for. Can we please have a little bit of pick your brain a little on the knowledge that you feel like they should consider when they are choosing these making these big decisions?
Okay, thank you so much for having us as Hlumasande. So no, for me, I think what's important is firstly, as she said, you have to know yourself. But I always tell students, don't rush the process because even myself, I'm still getting to know myself as well.
Yeah.
Like my own experience, I don't know what I, let's say, applied for. I just applied for the sake of applying, and then I was doing a BCom degree.
Yeah.
And it was a good opportunity for me to learn and to find myself in it, you know. And that for me was something that it was not a rush process. You know, I just felt in the right position, and especially for those who are not gonna make it, because the fact is not everyone will be taken. You will be rejected. So if you are rejected, don't worry, just go on. Keep on knocking, because I don't know how many times I registered, like when university was opening, like on the last day when our university is opening, and other people already went through orientation and stuff. And I have a friend who registered only in March. You know, so if you really want to go to university, keep on knocking, don't give up until, you know,
That door
that door
opens.
is, that door opens.
Love
So
that.
I
I
would say
love
that.
that. So I'm going to take it back to you guys, right? So you guys are about to enter varsity. I know when I was about to enter varsity, I was nervous. I had some expectations. I was like, okay, this is what the teachers had said, so many things, and then I'm also going into there. So what are some of the expectations that you guys have about going into varsity?
So I think varsity is going to be difficult.
How about Tom? That's your first expectation. Guys, who's been telling her lies?
I think varsity is going to be difficult,
Yeah.
and like it's going to be a little more different, from high school.
Yes.
And I think one, I expect myself to work more harder than I
Okay.
did in high school.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think they're going to like have more difficult exams. So varsity, for me, I think it's going to be difficult.
You don't see any fun when you're going into varsity?
No.
Not zero, not one, not a chance. Yeah, when guys, you must stop tweeting bad things about varsity. Now kids are stressed.
And you, Mala?
In my case, first, I'm struggling on getting school.
Okay.
Yes, so I'm still going through that phase. But then, you know, back then in high school, I used to think that they tell us that varsity is very difficult. You get there from 100% in high school, and then you get there, you get 0%.
Yeah.
And I'm like, guys,
heard
so
it.
where am I going?
Yeah.
So yeah, so you know, going to varsity, you have that pressure, I'm going to fail. And then you get some telling you that it's fun, you have to enjoy, be yourself, and like, yeah. So I'm confused what to believe.
Want to believe, yeah.
Yes.
No, yeah, I mean, it's a mix. So what would you say? What does happen in varsity? You get to varsity, I mean, I've heard stories of people who told you 80 one year, who told you 44 the other year. Like, what do you think? Is it the mindset that changes? Do people get confused, or is it like a hard space to learn and let us in?
I had the same experience. So my first day at university, I was looking for a particular building. So I asked this guy where it was. So when he was taking me there, I asked him about racism on campus. So he said to me, if you look for it, you will find it. But if you don't, you also won't find it. So that's the whole experience in university. When you look for the negative, you'll surely find the negative. But when you look for the positive, you'll get it.
Love that.
Completely agree with that. Love it. So guys, what advice do you have for others who are in matric and, you know, are about to get into varsity as well? Like in terms of surviving matric, what would you say?
If you want to survive your matric, you need to work hard. And you need to understand that if you fail a test, it's not the end of the road for you. You need to work hard so that when you're about to write the next test, you are more informed, more confident. And then matric, if you want to pass matric, you have to be confident. Confidence like beats it all, and then you need to like have as much as information about applications, the funding and bursaries, because if you don't have that information, you're going to get stuck in January.
Yeah, that's true.
And also you need to form study groups, and you need to get as much information as you can get from your teachers, and have a positive attitude for matric. And yeah.
But Tong, now
Good
that's such
advice.
good advice.
Right?
Love that. What's some advice that you have, sir?
So usually, when you get to matric, they always tell you that matric is difficult and
Yeah.
stuff. I will tell them that they need to focus on themselves. I always believe that all the grades are the same.
Yeah.
So you got to grade 11, you passed grade 11. So what will stop you from passing grade 12? So just treat it at the same grade.
Yeah.
Practice yourself. Just, you know, enjoy being at school. Don't give yourself that pressure that I'm in high school, in matric. So what I usually say to people who ask advice from me, I have this quote of myself. I always tell them to always prepare and equip yourself for the best, because there is no luck. Luck is only when your preparation meets the
the opportunity.
Oh, wow, love that. And for Tami, before we leave, because time is running out, but they're not going anywhere, guys, they're still going to be back. What are some of the advice? I mean, you hear them speaking about it and you're like, are you anxious for them, or you like, you're ready just to push all the matriculants forward? And what are some of the ways in which you can advise them in which to move or navigate this new era in their lives?
I think, yeah, it's very important to believe in yourself. As she mentioned, I like that confidence. And confidence is boosted by knowledge. You have to go through the process of getting knowledge and be knowledgeable about things for yourself. And the thing is, your future belongs to yourself. You know? And you have to take it up and do what you have to do.
And unfortunately, the future belongs to them, but the time belongs to us. And you have to wrap you now. But worry not, ladies and gentlemen. He's still going to share more knowledge. They're going to be back a little later on. The hashtag to use is Talk Thursday. Make sure you hop on all our socials. It is Ekse_live on Twitter, as well as on Instagram, as well as Ekse Live on Facebook. Right now, though, Dolly, what are we doing? We're taking an ad break.
Right now, we're taking an ad break because we need to gather and we need to ingest and digest all of this thing that we've heard. Be back when we're back.
Bye, ladies.
CTV family, catch us live.